Well, enigma. There's a lot going on around it, and if it exists, no one knows. I also don't know. However, I do feel that if it exists, and of course, then it's all around the algorithm, of course, that I do believe that there is a correlation, a really good correlation between time and price in the algorithm, and that might be the enigma. And I don't have the answer for this. I'm not like preaching a truth. However, I found something in the charts that I think is really interesting to pay attention to. And it is all around the using of the quarters to create like a lens of time, and then looking at inefficiencies to create a lens of time. And when you combine those, maybe that's enigma. So what I noticed the last couple of weeks is something specific happens around the distribution legs. Well, if you know more about ICT, you know that it's all around actually the accumulation phase, manipulation phase, and then distribution when price really starts to expand. And in those expansion moves, we create inefficiencies. And price, or at least the algorithm or whatever what it is, doesn't like inefficiencies and will fill them and rebalance them at one point. Well, what is that one point? Well, I found out that if I put a lens on the chart through time, that it becomes a lot more specific. So what you see a lot of the times during the day is that we get expansion phases in the third quarter. It can be session quarters, it can be daily quarters, can be weekly quarters, doesn't even matter. But what I did for this specific example, because that's where I tested it on, I have not tested it on different quarters. That's an invitation to you to do. What I found out that if I go to the 15-minute time frame and I look at the third quarter of every bigger quarter, so every cycle. In my case, the third quarter is the light green box. This indicator on the chart is quarterly theory by 2 degrees. And I actually messed with the colors because I like that the possible distribution phases are both green. So for me, blue is accumulation, red is manipulation, and then we get the distribution phases. Also on the bigger quarters, accumulation phase, manipulation phase, and 2 distribution phases, either continuation or reversal. Well, today in this video, we're only gonna focus on these smaller light green boxes. Those are the Q3, so third quarters. When you look at these time zones, or at least these specific time periods, those are the time periods where there is more volatility because it's more of the distribution, so the expansion move. So first, let me put on the lens of time. These are all light green boxes stretched out throughout price. So now we have a lens of time on the chart. And what I'd like to do in that lens of time is zoom in to each specific piece of price action on the chart within that green zone. So what you see over here in this price leg, we had a massive displacement down. What can you see? We have 1 fair value gap, 2 fair value gaps, and then a third one. Let me just mark that out as 1. So what you want to do is you mark out the imbalances caused in the third quarter. So in this green box, these are the only imbalances. Then I move to the next green box. This green box has 1 imbalance sitting there. I mark it out. This green box has 2 imbalances. And I can also make this one bigger one. This green box has a small one. This one has two, one over here and one over here. No imbalance. No imbalance. Let's go to the next one. We have multiple imbalances. We have one over here. We have one over here. Oh. Next one. One. Two, and I could also maybe take them together, but let me just do it like this. Green box, no imbalances. Green box, imbalance. Green box, imbalance. And here I'm already like at least done with all the examples in this chart. All right, so this was the first fair value gap in this green box I drawn out. Why are these important? Well, what I noticed is that imbalances, these imbalances, the specific ones in the green box, also get tapped in the green box. So let's extend this one out in time. Oh, I missed one over here. Let's see. You see, this was another one. Just on the side of the... All right, so we have this green box. Let's extend it out in time. What happens? Oh my, look at that. It got tapped exactly in the green box. Even to the 50%. All right, let's go to the next one. This fair value gap. Let's pull it out to the right. When did it get tapped? Oh my. In a green box. Let's go to the next one. This one didn't do anything here because we're not in a green box. It was, however, if you would have longed here, how you can look at this is it's either an entry point or a TP point. So if you long this, this could be your TP point, the fair value gap. Look at the next one. These are actually two imbalances, but I put them together. When is it tapped? In the green box. Let me see, this is also fair value gap. Does this do anything? No clue. No, it's not, there's no price action yet. All right, so let's go up to the next one. Green imbalances 2. Let me see, this is the first one. It does get tapped, but it's not really like a clear thing. However, this imbalance, green box, tapped, pushed up. This is a little less clear, but there's a lot of volatility around the news, so it might not hold that good. Yes, of course, we also have these wicks, and they also come in an imbalance, but right now I'm only looking through the lens of the light green because a lot of the times I see those ones really hold well for either an entry point, to look for an entry to see if there's a market structure shift or whatever entry you use, and then take it up to another point. Let me see if this was actually something. No, it's what wasn't in a green box. Green, no. And price action to the left has been gone. No. All right, so this didn't have any imbalances. All right, these imbalances. Let me stretch this out. This actually tapped in the green box and pushed up. We have two here. This is a small one. Let me just put them together because that doesn't matter. It's just a bigger imbalance like that. This one didn't hold. But as you can see over here, it became a resistance level. And then price came down. Oh, and there's another one here, I see. These two imbalances, where did they get tapped? In the green box, pushing up to another green box and a fair value gap. So as you can see, those levels act as a support and resistance level, but then a liquidity support and resistance level through time. And this was the final one, a big one, a small one, actually tapped on the box, but this was a red zone. This is a green zone. Yeah, this is in a green zone, but it's less clear, right? So my question is this ENIGMA? Is this like the lens of time and price? So the lens through time, looking for the liquidity voids, liquidity points in price. To me, it's really obvious that at least I started to use these things as TP points or looking for entry points. And this is not just 1 week. I've been testing this and looking at this for the whole year already. And it's amazing how those levels react. So I suggest start looking on your own chart. Start looking through this lens of time and see if you can find price levels that coincide with that. So these fair value gaps on the 15-minute in the green zones, and if they get tapped in a green zone, it's a high probable point of interest. So is this ENIGMA? Who knows? At least for me, it's a good lens, and I think it can be really helpful and really give some guidance in your trading and the points of interest you can have on the chart and which ones you can ignore maybe. So put on this lens of time and price and let's see what you can get out of it. So I hope you have a great day, and let me know what you find on the chart, and if you find some different stuff, or I don't know, maybe you find even more like weird algorithm stuff, but I love these kind of things. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.